Although the three account types mentioned in the previous lesson, RRSPs, TFSAs, and non-registered, are best optimized over the long term, each can be used for shorter term goals. Your general checkings or savings account at your bank is essentially a non-registered account. Using a bank account to accumulate an emergency fund or save towards goals with a short enough time horizon that it doesn't make sense to invest can be a perfect solution. If you have contribution room and are unable to max it out with long-term investments, you could also use a TFSA to hold funds for short-term goals, like an emergency fund, down payment for a house, or a trip coming up. You just want to ensure it's invested in a way that reflects your goal. Remember, we don't want to risk what we have and need for what we don't have and don't need. When you withdraw from a TFSA, you gain back that contribution room the following year. For example, if you have no contribution room right now and withdraw $25,000 in 2025, in 2026, you'd have $25,000 of contribution room plus the new annual limit set by the government. The delay is something to think about and plan for before making a decision. Since RSPs are taxed on withdrawals, they are really the last type of account that we want to withdraw from early. But there are a couple of cases where it could make sense. The home buyer's plan allows you to withdraw from your RSP without paying tax to help towards the purchase of a home. Qualified buyers could withdraw up to $60,000 from an RSP, making it a great way to accumulate a down payment, especially if someone is able to reinvest their tax returns. Another use for RSPs is the Lifelong Learning Plan, which allows qualified Canadians to withdraw up to $10,000 per year to finance full-time training or education. With both the Lifelong Learning Plan and the Homebuyer's Plan, you have to recontribute your withdrawal over a set number of years. And since RSPs grow tax-free, it's always worth seriously looking into and not just seeing your RSP as funds to spend. A version 2.0 of the Homebuyer's Plan is the First Home Savings Account, or FHSA. Similar to an RSP, contributions to an FHSA are tax deductible. You gain contribution room of $8,000 for every year that you have an account open, up to $40,000. So if you're thinking about using one in the future, you could open one early, even if you can't contribute to it right now. Other than the difference in account maximums, the main difference of an FHSA is that you don't have to recontribute your withdrawal, so it provides more flexibility for your future cash flow. You can transfer funds from an RSP to a FHSA in order to avoid having to recontribute the funds, but you lose that RSP contribution room. Using an RSP or an FHSA to save towards a down payment is great, because you can make that money you have stretch further. Let's imagine that someone has a goal of saving $40,000 for a down payment, and they're able to comfortably save $8,000 per year towards it. Without any growth or tax kickback, it would take 5 years to reach their goal. For the sake of simple math, if we assume a 25% tax bracket, their contributions would result in a refund of $2,000 per year, turning their $8,000 contribution into $10,000, and helping them reach their goal in 4 years. This not only gives them $8,000 of free money, it also allows them to avoid paying rent for another year, which could easily be $20,000 or more. Registered Education Saving Plans, or RESPs, are a great way to save for your child's education. There's a lifetime contribution limit of $50,000 per child, but each year your contributions can receive a 20% Canadian Education Savings Grant, up to $500 per year, or $7,200 in total, meaning that contributing $2,500 per year would get you the max benefit and a total contribution of $3,000. If you're a lower income earner, you may also qualify for the Canada Learning Bond, which can add an additional lifetime maximum of $2,000. Like an RSP and TFSA, funds within an RESP grow tax-free. So as nice as the grants are, they aren't the biggest advantage. When the funds are withdrawn, they are done so under the child's name. Since they are going to school, they should be in a very low tax bracket, making the growth of funds very tax efficient. An RESP can be open for up to 35 years from the first contribution, could be accumulated for multiple beneficiaries, and any unused contributions can be transferred to an RRSP, with the grants being paid back. So there is a lot of flexibility to maximize its use. You may have noticed something with most of the accounts that we've talked about so far. They have the word savings in them. This can cause some confusion and be counterintuitive because we don't want to simply save money in these accounts. We want to grow it. Just saving instead of investing is like owning a sports car that you never drive. It doesn't matter how else you use it, you simply can't get the full benefit from it. Investing properly for each goal really requires a two-step process. First, you need to figure out the best accounts for your goal. Then, you need to optimize that account for your goal. An aggressively invested emergency fund is set up to fail. Long-term accounts set up too conservatively or not set up at all takes away all the benefit. And short to medium-term accounts that aren't working for you will end up costing you. This can all be confusing, complicated, or even overwhelming. In the final chapter, we're going to focus on combining the information and theory of this course with actionable, practical things that you can start doing to take more control over your finances. But until then, just try to take the information in, knowing that it's confusing for most. Remember, you don't have to be an expert by any means. Even just a little bit of information can go a long way to completely transforming your life. And it all starts by having a better understanding of how everything works, so we can make better decisions moving forward, not by beating ourselves up about what we wish we would have done differently in the past. It's never too late to start doing the right things, and the best time to start is right now.